Hey guys, welcome back to PoleArms. This is Doug. I'm finally going to get to a video that I've been meaning to get to for a while, and that is my fix for the infamous Shield 8-round magazine sleeve debacle, fiasco, shenanigans. Hate this little piece here. Hate it, can't stand it. Awful. Can't believe that Smith & Wesson ever thought this was a good idea. Can't believe they continue to think it's a good idea, and they continue to sell their pistols, specifically the Shield 9mm. That's what this one's from. With these things still in existence. I can't believe that over the years, after hearing all the gripes and rants and complaints and negative interviews, and that they didn't listen to their customers and fix it themselves and come up with a better solution. But they haven't. There are other companies. One company in particular I can think of that has come up with a solution. That cost is pretty pricey. It's the cost essentially of a new magazine. It's about $35 or so. It's from a company called MagFix. They come up with a solution to replace that sleeve and make sure it doesn't move. But yeah, I mean, you know the story. If you're checking out this video, then you probably have this problem and you're looking for a fix. So you know that the sleeve moves on you. You put it in a mag holder, your spare mag, in a mag holder on your belt. You go to pull the magazine and it looks something like this. And if you're pulling that spare magazine in a self-defense situation, you really need it, that's what you're gonna get. You try to seat that thing in your pistol, it could cost you seconds, and those seconds could cost you your life. So this thing is not only a horrible engineering, a bad idea, but it's a potentially lethal mistake. And you would think you should expect more from a company like Smith & Wesson. You would think they would fix it by now, but they haven't. So yeah, if you're watching this video, you know all about this, okay? And if you've seen my other videos, I've done a few videos on mag extensions, base plate switch outs for my Shield. You've heard me rant every which way but loose about how much I hate these guys. So yeah, today I'm going to provide you with a little how-to, step-by-step on a fix that I have found works pretty good for me. But before that, I'm going to talk to you about another fix that I came up with for these. The first fix that I used. And I'll tell you about that. I'm not going to go through step by step, but I'll show you the product that I used for it. And who knows, maybe that will suit your needs better than the fix I'm actually going to walk through in this video. We'll get right to it. The first time I fixed that sleeve, I use this product here, good old Loctite, name brand, been around for a long time. They have an adhesive. It's a Loctite Plastics, and it's a two-part system. You have a felt tip primer pen, liquid primer in there. The process is you apply the liquid primer to one surface, one of the surfaces to be bonded. You let that dry for I think a minute or so. You let it tack up, and then you apply the actual, essentially the super glue, the plastic or polymer adhesive. You apply that to both surfaces, ideally, if you can. Bond the two. and I can't remember what the cure time is, but I think I let them sit overnight when I did it. And then it actually creates a pretty darn good bond, a pretty durable bond. The problem is it creates a very good bond. You know, it put up with daily wear, whether it was the magazine seated in the pistol or the spare carried in a mag holder on my belt. It withstood daily wear. I definitely wasn't looking down and seeing that the spare magazine, that the sleeve had moved at all. It was bonded, it was in place. It even took being thrown down on the ground numerous times during an IDPA match. So it's in place. Now to get it off, I mean, I had to take a box cutter and really get in there and break that seal and pry that seal free. But it took a little doing. Easy enough. I mean, when you get down to it, it was easy enough, but I did have to take a box cutter, a razor knife, and cut that seal, break that seal. So shy of that, you know, just with normal daily use, it was a good fix. The Loctite plastics. The downside is that you are bonding the sleeve to the base plate, which means that you are not going to be able to remove the base plate if you need to get in there and replace the spring, do cleaning on the inside of the magazine. If you want to switch out the base plates for another, for a mag extension, you can't really do it unless you take that razor knife and get in there and break the seal. So that's not an ideal solution. When I came up with this solution at the time, you know, I was so desperate just to get a fix. I didn't really think at the time I was going to be switching out springs or looking for any kind of mag extensions or anything like that. So I figured it was the lesser of two evils. I went with it, and again, it worked out very well for me. Then I got to the point where I did want to switch out the base plates, look for mag extensions. So I had to come up with another solution. So I cut the things free and came up with the solution I'm going to walk through with you now in this video. So in order to fix the sleeve issue without bonding the sleeve to the base, you're going to need to bond the sleeve to the actual magazine body. And in order to do that, what I found out worked, and I've already done this once, did a little test before I shot the video, make sure it actually worked. But I went ahead and did this on my carry mag, my spare mag, and it worked out great, guys. Bonded to the body of the magazine. The base plate is now free. I can pop that guy off and work on the internals of the magazine or switch out the base plate, whatever I want to do, and that sleeve is bonded to the body. It's not going anywhere. And I did this probably about 2 days ago, and I've carried this around in my my horizontal mag holder all day, each of those 2 days, and it's fine, guys. There's no movement. I haven't, you know, put it through hell. I haven't beat up on it or tossed it on the ground or you know, put it through any kind of a torture test. But as far as daily usage goes, it seems to be working out pretty good. Of course, I'll continue to carry it. I'm actually going to work on my my main magazine that usually you know, goes into the pistol. I'll be working on this one in this video, but I'll continue to wear them daily and keep an eye on them and see if see if they hold up. If for some reason they fail, I will definitely put out an update video and let you guys know. So yeah, we're gonna be working on this magazine today. Again, it was previously bonded with the Loctite plastics product I just showed you, and I already went ahead and cut that free with the razor knife, and you know, scraped off any residue and gave it a little sand. So now it's ready to go. Right at the top, I'm going to show you what we're going to use, what you're going to need. So I decided I wanted to use a spray adhesive. Now I just happened to pick up, because it's what was on the shelf, 3M high strength contact adhesive. This is the industrial strength. Sorry, my light is bouncing off that silver label pretty badly, but it's the industrial strength product. There was I guess a lesser strength product right next to it on the shelf, but I went ahead and went for the Big Daddy high strength industrial strength version. So that's what I used. You know, I'm sure. So that's the only one I can speak to as far as its effectiveness. But you know, you can find whatever kind of high strength industrial strength spray adhesive you can find, and use that, I'm sure, with you know, equal results. But this is the one I'm going to use, the 3M high strength contact adhesive. You're also going to need just some painter's tape, masking tape. I am a house painter by trade, so I have plenty of this laying around. I use it all the time for different things. So this is perfect for this kind of application. This is what I'm going to use to completely mask off the magazine, the parts of the magazine that are not going to be sprayed down. This you know, creates a pretty good seal. It's also quick, easy release. That's what it's made for. You put it on, you apply the product, and then you can quickly release it without leaving behind any kind of, you know, tape residue, any kind of adhesive residue. But if you have just your basic standard everyday masking tape, you know, that would be okay as well as a second option. But I would really say your first pick would be painter's tape, you know, specifically painter's tape. So you need some of that. You also need something to mark the top edge of that sleeve to see where it seats, and that line is going to be what you you know, where you apply your masking tape, your painter's tape. I use the pencil on the other magazine, but just from manhandling it and trying to get the masking tape in place and repositioning, you know, I rubbed off the pencil pretty quickly, so that was kind of a setback, kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Sharpie pen, a fine tip Sharpie pen. You know, I'd say any kind of a felt tip marker, you know, with a fine point would be just fine. So I'm going to use that to mark that line. So now that we know what we're going to use, let's go ahead and get to it. So first off, you know, you want to put well, first off, you want to remove all the internals of your magazine. You don't want your spring or anything to accidentally get adhesive on it and mess with the delicate interworkings of your magazine. So just get rid of those. We'll put those back in after everything is said and done. And also, the reason why you want to get rid of that is when you remove the sleeve, you'll notice there's a little hole there on either side. So you're going to want to go ahead and put masking tape on the inside of the magazine to block those holes, to make sure that no spray adhesive gets into the inside of your magazine, because that will obviously ruin your magazine. It'll keep everything from functioning properly on the inside. So yeah, now that we got the internals back or out, we're going to put the base plate back on, and that's just a placeholder, because now we are going to put the sleeve back on as well, and we want to see where that sleeve seats. Okay, where you want to make sure it's pushed down all the way, making contact with that base plate all the way around. You don't want any gaps because you want to get an accurate mark to know where to spray the adhesive. Okay, so that's all pushed down tight against the base plate. So now, yeah, I'm just going to mark along the top. Okay, obviously you don't have to mark on the back, because you're not going to put any adhesive on the back, because the sleeve doesn't go back there. You're going to mask off the back of the magazine, the spine of the magazine. So I am just marking all the way around, tight against the top of that sleeve. All right, and hopefully that won't rub off when I take the sleeve off. We'll see here. Nope, there you go, still in place. Good deal. Okay, so now that that is marked, mark a line on top of the base plate, because we don't want adhesive to get down behind that base plate. The whole point of this fix is that we want to adhere the sleeve to the body, but we want to keep the base plate removable. That's the whole point of the fix. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and mark this and mask below this line, and make sure we don't get any adhesive down there. There we go. My marker is wanting to quit on me, so there we go. Make sure it gets good and marked all the way around. Okay, there we go, good. So we've got that marked. Okay, so now that I have everything marked, I'm going to take my painter's tape. I am going to go ahead and, off of these two lines, I'm going to completely mask off the entire magazine. I'm going to start by putting a piece of tape inside the magazine to cover, sorry, battery's starting to die on me, to cover that hole on either side. I'll do that first, and then I'll mask off everything above that top line and below that bottom line, just leaving that space where the sleeve sits, leaving that alone. That's what I'll spray down with the adhesive, but I'll go ahead and do that off camera, come back and show you what it looks like when it's all masked off. Okay, so here we have the magazine completely masked off. Very first thing I did, like I said, I was going to do, put a piece of tape on the inside to cover up those holes. You can see the blue tape coming through the hole, one on each side. Definitely want to make sure the adhesive doesn't get into the inside of the magazine. Completely masked off above that top line, below that bottom line, leaving just the gap where that sleeve is going to go, leaving that exposed. That's what's going to get the spray adhesive. Everything else completely masked. I did leave either end open, and that's just so that once I apply the spray, this product, the 3M, the high strength contact adhesive, recommends that you do 2 to 3 quick coats. You want it to let it tack up for it. I think it recommended 1 to 2 minutes. You want it to tack up to where you can kind of do a knuckle test on it, touch it, make sure that the adhesive isn't being lifted off of the metal on your knuckle. If it stays in place and it's tacky, you know that it's ready to go. So I left either end open so that after I spray, I can very quickly remove this tape, because I want it to be removed as soon as possible before the adhesive even tacks up. Basically, as soon as I'm done spraying it, I'm going to remove the painter's tape, because I don't want that adhesive to set up and adhere that tape to the magazine. So I want to get rid of that masking tape as soon as I spray down with that spray adhesive. So I have it left open on either end so that it's quick access, and I can just quickly pull that tape off. I'm going to take it outside to spray because you want to use this kind of a product in a well ventilated area, outside, out in a garage, somewhere with adequate ventilation. You definitely don't want to use this stuff inside. Okay, so just sprayed it down, 2 to 3 quick coats. You can see it there on the body of the magazine. Quickly took off the masking tape. So what you want to do, because you have to work relatively quickly, putting the base plate back on, again, just as a placeholder to make sure I'm seating that sleeve all the way down where it needs to go. I'm going to slide that sleeve down all the way over top of that adhesive. Okay. Again, we're making sure that sleeve is all the way down, making contact with that base plate all the way around. Okay, you don't want to adhere this thing to the body of the magazine and then go to find out that you can't seat your magazine in your pistol because you don't have that sleeve down all the way. Okay, once I'm confident that sleeve is down all the way, I am going to then remove that base plate because I definitely don't want this thing sticking to the body of the magazine. Putting it back on just to make sure I didn't bump anything or create a gap when I took it off. Yeah, so I'm going to take that base plate off. Don't want that sticking to the magazine. Then I'm going to let this set up and dry. I'm just going to, it's kind of late at night here when I'm doing this, so I'm just going to let this sit and dry right here overnight. Checking in the morning, but if it goes as planned, if it goes just like the other one I did, if it goes just like that, then it will dry in place by morning and be good to go. All right, guys. Well, I hope that fix works for you. Let me know. Send me comments. Let me know if it worked for you. Let me know if it didn't work for you. Regardless, I appreciate you checking it out. If you got something out of the video, if it worked for you, you know, please like the video below. Please subscribe to my channel, PoleArms, below. You know, I really appreciate it, guys. I appreciate every single view. I appreciate every single like. I appreciate every single comment. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm just starting this channel. I'm building slowly. So really every little thing, every view, every like, definitely every subscription, really means a lot to me, guys. So I really appreciate you. Keep tuning back in, guys. I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.